The rain fell in sheets across the abandoned spaceport, turning the cracked concrete into a maze of puddles and streams. In the shadow of a derelict cargo container, two figures huddled together for warmth. Luna pressed her daughter closer, her pale blue skin glistening with moisture as pointed ears twitched at every sound. "Mama, I'm cold," whispered Iris, her smaller frame shivering against her mother's side. At 8 years old, the young elf had inherited her mother's ethereal features and silver hair, but her violet eyes held a sadness no child should carry. Luna stroked her daughter's hair, fighting back tears. 3 days had passed since their transport ship departed without them, leaving them stranded on this human colony world. The captain had claimed their payment was insufficient, though Luna knew the truth. Her people were unwelcome here, seen as refugees and burdens rather than beings deserving of compassion. "Just a little longer, my star," Luna murmured, though she wondered how much longer they could survive. Their food had run out yesterday, and the approaching winter would make sleeping outdoors impossible. Footsteps echoed across the wet pavement. Luna tensed, pulling Iris deeper into the shadows. Most humans who ventured to the old spaceport came, looking for trouble or salvage, neither of which boded well for two defenseless elves. A figure appeared around the corner, a human woman in her 30s with auburn hair tied back in a practical ponytail. She wore work clothes and carried a toolbox, clearly a maintenance worker. When her brown eyes fell upon the hidden pair, she stopped abruptly. "Oh," the woman said softly, her voice carrying none of the hostility Luna had learned to expect. "You're not supposed to be here." Luna stood slowly, positioning herself between the human and her daughter. "We mean no harm. We were just seeking shelter from the rain." The human, Emma, according to her name tag, studied them with curious rather than suspicious eyes. She noticed their thin clothing, the way they trembled from more than just cold, and the protective stance of the mother. "How long have you been out here?" Emma asked, her tone gentle. 3 days, Luna replied honestly, unsure why she felt compelled to tell this stranger the truth. Emma's expression shifted to concern. 3 days, have you eaten?" The question broke something inside Luna. She had maintained her composure for her daughter's sake, but this unexpected kindness threatened to crumble her defenses. "We have managed." It was not quite a lie, though managing meant rationing the last of their provisions and watching Iris grow weaker each day. Emma set down her toolbox and approached slowly, as if dealing with frightened animals. "I'm Emma. What are your names?" "I am Luna, and this is my daughter Iris." The elf kept, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "Luna and Iris," Emma repeated, and somehow the human pronunciation made their names sound warmer. "Those are beautiful names. Are you waiting for someone to pick you up?" The simple question shattered Luna's remaining composure. Tears spilled down her cheeks as the truth poured out. The transport that abandoned them, the dwindling credits, the growing desperation as each day passed without options. Emma listened without interruption, her expression growing more troubled with each detail. When Luna finished, silence stretched between them, except for the steady patter of rain. "Come with me," Emma said finally. Luna stepped back instinctively. "We cannot pay you." "Did I ask for payment?" Emma's tone was matter-of-fact rather than offended. "You're cold, hungry, and alone. I have a warm house and plenty of food. This isn't complicated." The simplicity of the offer left Luna speechless. In her experience, nothing came without cost, especially from strangers. Emma picked up her toolbox again. "My truck is just over there. The heater works great, and I was planning to make soup for dinner anyway." Iris tugged on her mother's sleeve. "Mama, please," she whispered, her small voice filled with hope. Luna looked between her daughter's pleading eyes and Emma's patient face. Every instinct screamed caution, but stronger than fear was her desperation to see Iris safe and warm. "Why would you help us?" Luna asked. Emma shrugged. "Why wouldn't I? You need help, I can provide it. Seems pretty straightforward to me." The casual nature of the response struck Luna as profoundly alien. Where she came from, charity required ceremony, debt, or political advantage. This human offered aid as naturally as breathing. Besides, Emma added with a slight smile, my house is too quiet anyway. Could use some company. An hour later, Luna and Iris sat at Emma's kitchen table, bowls of hot vegetable soup warming their hands and stomachs. The house was modest but comfortable, filled with plants and books that spoke of someone who valued life and learning. Emma bustled around the kitchen, preparing sandwiches and hot tea as if feeding stranded aliens was a daily occurrence. She asked no invasive questions, demanded no explanations, simply provided warmth and nourishment without expectation. The guest room has 2 beds, Emma mentioned casually while buttering bread. Bathroom is right across the hall. There are clean towels in the closet. Luna stared at this impossible woman. Emma, we are strangers. We have no money, no way to repay your kindness. Emma paused in her sandwich making and looked directly at Luna. You're not strangers now. You're Luna and Iris, and you're welcome here as long as you need to stay. She resumed her work, adding, the only payment I want is to see that little girl smile again. As if summoned by the words, Iris giggled at something she found amusing in her soup. The sound filled the kitchen with light, and Luna felt something tight in her chest finally begin to loosen. Over the following weeks, Emma's simple act of kindness evolved into something deeper. She helped Luna find work, enrolled Iris in school, and gradually their temporary arrangement became permanent. The 3 formed an unlikely family bound not by blood, but by choice and mutual care. Luna often wondered what made humans like Emma different from the traitors and officials who had turned them away. Perhaps it was their youth as a species, their lack of ancient prejudices, or simply their remarkable capacity for hope. Whatever the reason, Luna learned that sometimes salvation came not through grand gestures or political movements, but through one person willing to open their door to strangers and say simply, "You're welcome here." In Emma's quiet act of humanity, 2 lost souls found not just shelter but home. But,